Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're going to pick up a Seat Mii that I've just bought for £3,000. I should explain really, if you're watching this in America and you don't know what a Seat Mii is, it's basically, how can I describe it? It's a car, technically, but it looks like a washing machine. It's a top loader with four wheels, that's what this is. You'll see exactly why I say that in a minute. They seem to be quite popular with everybody, barring me. I just think they're completely charmless and soulless. You're far better off with an iGo, to be honest. Anyway, each to their own, I suppose. The world would be very boring, wouldn't it, if we all liked the same stuff? Now, the Seat Mii is exactly the same as the VW up exclamation mark, and also the Skoda, what's the Skoda one called? The Citigo. The Skoda Citigo, they're all the same. All it is a case of badge engineering and a bit of brand power. Now, because they're popular little cars, which are cheap to run and cheap to insure, they're very popular with first-time drivers. So I'm hoping I can flip this on for quite a healthy little profit. I'm hoping it doesn't need an awful lot doing to it. I'm really trying my best here to kick off this new year without massively overspending. What I'm thinking here then, these are just some simple figures. I paid £3,000 for it. If I can spend £500 on it, then I should be able to retail this for £4,995, which will leave me a fairly healthy profit of £1,500. That's my hope. By the way, in case you're wondering why somebody's replaced Matt with a 24-year-old, I had a clean shave yesterday and then immediately regretted it. Anyway, right, let's go and have a look at this little Seat Mii. Well, we're here. Hey, the Wonder Grip van's gone. I was starting to think that was just an ornament. We've got a completely empty car park here. And we're in an XKR. That doesn't sound good, does it? Sounds like one of my backing plates is grinding on something. Anyway, back to the Seat Mii. That is the best possible outcome. I didn't know it was black and I didn't know it was a 5-door. That is what every young person wants, I think. Well, not wants, but when they realise how expensive insurance is, that all of a sudden becomes an attractive proposition. The plates are alright, they don't need to be replaced, the headlamps don't want buffing. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do? Still, we're right on track for the £500 spend, aren't we? I don't like the vape vents that it's got. They're coming off. But yeah, that's pretty good. So that is a 2014, sorry if I'm sending you dizzy here, rocking back and forth, 2014 Seat Mii. As always then, let's check it out using Car Vertical. As well, knock the engine off. Right, so all you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the vehicle reg or the VIN. In this case, we know it is Yankee Golf 14, so it's come from Yorkshire. Bravo Zulu Charlie. Right, check vehicle. This is currently checking hundreds of millions of cars across dozens of countries' databases. It'll tell us whether it's been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It's really important that you do one of these checks before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike. You just don't know what history some cars are hiding. If you'd like to do one of these checks for yourself and you'd like to save yourself 10% off each and every check that you do, then don't forget to use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That is HIGHPEAK, all one word. And just like that, the report is done. So this is a Seat Mii from 2014, petrol. It's never had a mileage rollback. There's no outstanding finance. There's no recorded damage. Let's see what it says about it. So the Seat Mii is a great urban car known for its affordability, fuel efficiency and impressive performance. Who are you trying to kid? Impressive performance. It's about 60 horsepower. So it has a 1 litre TSI, 90 horsepower. There are various models. Let's see what this one is. The last known mileage, I was told it had done 62. The last known mileage was 60. That was in September last year. And it's been fairly consistent every single year. The last couple of years, it's only done 2,000 miles. Well, that's good news. Let's see if there are any advisory items. Last known selling price was $4,098. I'm guessing that was pre-COVID, when everything was cheap. The average selling price for such a vehicle today is $5,500 grand. I think my aim of $4,995 then is pretty good. Might even do a little bit more than this. Who knows? So it's in tax band B, so it's only £20 a year. 20 quid a year, it's so cheap, isn't it? When you consider the car that I'm in right now is $695. It is front wheel drive, 5-door, 4-cylinder, 4 seats, and it is a Seat Mii Toca, which means touch in Spanish. You're impressed, aren't you? Tócame. So the MOT advisories then. I was right. It was for sale in August 20. That's when everything was cheap. It's had a couple of reg plates over the years. Yeah, no advisory items. That's a result, isn't it? Well, if it's only done 2,000 miles since its last MOT, which was clean, we should be on track here for an underspend. I don't want to get my hopes up though. Okay, then let's go and have a look around it. Well, it's quite tidy. First thing to note, unfortunately, we've only got the one key, the Juan key. It's the same as an old Golf Mark 4 or 5. But on the bright side, we can get these keys cut for about, I think, £75 for a blade or £100 for a fob. That's not the end of the world. This is quite a common issue on these actually. If you're looking for an up or a Citigo or whatever, they do often rust around this fuel door. See this little bit of bubble in here? That's had paint before. You can see the sort of the grazing in it where someone's you know, rubbed down the bog. Don't like that. There's also, I was going to say there's also some corrosion there, but it's just dirt. I think then I'm going to get that painted. It's only that small panel, so that's probably 100 quid or something, 120 maybe, and it would just look much tidy because it's also started to go there as well. Onto the tyres then, we've got a Nano Energy 3, that's a new one on me. Oh, it's a Toyo actually, that's a decent brand. A couple of little dents there which will pop out, I think. Get the lads from Dents over, that's no big deal. Snazzy vape vents there. We've got a Blue Earth ES on the front. Oh, by Yokohama. You know what? This car's making me eat my words, isn't it? Well, the tyre brands are anyway. It's all very tidy, this. Quite pleased with it so far. I think that's £3,000 well spent. We've got Bosch wiper blades. 2 of. Some chamois fibres there, so someone's actually bothered cleaning this, which is good. We've got a matching Yokohama on the front. The alloys look in decent condition actually for a car of this age. Don't forget it's 10 years old now. And the fact it has alloys is quite a good selling point really. There's a little scuff there on the mirror, but I could touch that in with some black, that's no problem. The sill isn't damaged. Looks quite tidy really, this. And we've got a matching Nano Energy on the back. Very good. Moving around the back, we've got matching plates. There we go, little docker. Someone's stuck that back on. Couple of little scratches here, but I can live with that for a 10-year-old thing. Let's have a look inside then, because it's a bit chilly today. Well, that all works. Inside, how dirty is it? Not very actually. Quite a clean car. Quite like the blue trim. It's quite snazzy, isn't it? We've got some pop out. How do they open? Oh, look at that. Look at all the ventilation you get through that. You know what, there's actually quite a bit of space back here. Well, behind the driver's seat, not behind the passenger so much. They're Isofix points. Someone's had a dog, although it doesn't smell doggy. This is quite a clean car. In fact, let's see if we can see. This has had paint, so here are the telltale signs. A little bit of overspray there, and a bit of an edge. There's a tip for you. I would say they've probably lost that into here somewhere. It's not a big job that. We can get that done. Run it to Jimmy's. Don't need to buy a parcel shelf, it's complete. Little spare mat. Is there a spare wheel? I don't think there will be. Oh, there is. This is all going a bit too well, isn't it? Watch it not have an engine now, or no clutch or something. How do we pop the bonnet on one of these? Oh, look at the cup holder there, look. And another one. Spoilt for choice. Oh, we've got a leather steering wheel. Yeah, decent car this. Got heated mirrors. one electric window. See what I mean about it being a washing machine though? It's the boxiest little car ever, isn't it? Wait till you see this mighty engine. Look at that. Well, apart from it needing a good clean, there are no obvious leaks or drips anywhere that I can see. Let's just check the old. Yeah, that looks fairly clean actually, and there's no mayonnaise. Perfect. Struggle with this. There we go. This has had a recent service, I would say, in the last 5,000 miles or something. Well, I think we're starting off this year with a bit of good luck. Hang on a second. Something's bugging me. Difficult to do this one-handed. What dross. There we go. Much better. Just increased its value. Some minor stains on the seat there, which will come out with a good clean. It's done 62,000 miles, 121. We've got a Garmin sat-nav thing. They all have these, which I think is a bit of a magnet for thieves. Because, you know, if you're a thief wandering past this, you'd assume you could just pull that off and stick it on eBay. We've even got nearly half a tank of juice. We've got lots of warning lights. Oh no, they've all gone out. And we're good, I think. We're all good. What about service history? Seats always have this tiny book pack as well. Let's have a... My day has just got better and better. Got a spare key here. Well, that's a result. Service book, service book, service book. Why is there no service book? Strange. Got the book for the sound system and all that sort of stuff. But no service book. How weird. Got an instruction manual here for the Garmin sat-nav. We've got some bills and receipts here, so... right. Got the previous MOT. I'll spin the camera around so it's not as boring for you. Why is there no service book? There's a receipt here for an MOT and front brake discs and pads, £240. That was in 22. We've got some more receipts here for a brake fluid service, wheel cylinder, drums and shoes, 337. A bill there for Toyos. Now, what's weird, this strikes me straight away as a car that's been cared for. We've got decent branded tyres, 2 keys, it's nice and clean. You'd expect it to have history, wouldn't you? And also the fact they all look fairly clean. How weird. Hang on a second. Nothing like a bit of brute force and ignorance. Voila. Okay, then what else can I tell you about it? I'm going to get that heater on because it's rather nippy. I mean, this is pretty much it. They're a basic little car, this. So, 105.4, Heart FM, I think. The signal's bad. Am I missing my aerial? Where's the aerial on one of these? Huh? No, it's there. Signal's not very good. Mind you, Heart isn't the best, is it? At the best of times, signal-wise, I mean. Let's get this heater on. We've got air conditioning. There we go. Average consumption 33 miles per gallon. It's not great, is it, for a little tiny engine? Okay then, well, should we drive this and see how she performs? And we're away then. Adjust my seat a little bit. Better get out that barrier before it starts to close. It's like an adrenaline sport, this. Well, straight away, I know I've only driven 4 meters with it, but it feels quite nice. Steering wheel feels nice. Feels tight, if you know what I mean. Clutch feels good. Sounds all right. Not bad, really. I think the thing is, any sort of VW Group car is always, in my opinion, overpriced. On the used market, you'll pay, I don't know, £6,000 for a Golf, and for £6,000 you'd get something better and newer. They're always just too dear. Same with Polos. So when these were like £6,000 and £7,000, I couldn't see the appeal. But now you can pick them up for well under 5. I suppose it's quite a decent suggestion, isn't it? Or proposition. Well, what do I need to do then? I need to paint the rear quarter around the fuel door, so I'm not happy with that. If I'm going to ask decent money for it, it needs to look decent. Give it a fresh service, fresh MOT. I don't need to do the key anymore because I've found it. And give it a good clean, I think. That's pretty much it. So if we say 150 for the paint, we'll say £200 for the service and MOT, because it might need something doing, distant pads or, I don't know, doesn't need tyres because they're alright. We'll say £200 for that, that's £350, £70 for a valet. We could be under budget here. And that never happens on this channel, does it? Never, ever, ever. One thing that always does my head in about these, actually, you know what, everything I've said about this today, the car has just answered for me. I was just about to say, one thing I don't really like about the up exclamation mark and the Citigo and the Mii is that the seat's always too high, a bit like a Fiat 500. Always find myself driving it like that. But this has got a height adjustable driver's seat. This advert writes itself, doesn't it? The only gear I've not tried is 5th. Please don't crunch now. Don't crunch. 2nd. 3rd. It actually feels surprisingly nippy, this. 4th. 5th. Well, hey. Have I got reverse? Have I got reverse? It's all a bit too good to be true, this. Reverse is push down. No, don't push down. We've got reverse gear. Don't really know what to do with myself. I've only got a big job list to do, and on this occasion, I don't really. My inspection light's on. There we go. Can spend some money on that. Makes me feel better. Right, leave this with me then for, might be a couple of weeks. I'll see how busy Jimmy is. See when he can fit me in for paint. I'm going to run it to my mechanics now and get all the mechanical oily bits done. And then it's just a case of getting the paintwork done. And then valet it, and I should have an ending for you. Right, I'll see you in a fortnight. Give me a fortnight. Hopefully I'll be back sooner than that. This would be a great first car, you know. You can imagine doing burnouts in the McDonald's car park at 3 AM, couldn't you, in this? And we're back in the little Seat Mii, and I think I've done it again. I bought a car here that I think is quite desirable. It should sell quite quickly. I haven't massively overspent on it, and most importantly, I think I should get some profit from it. I don't know what's going on either. The first thing I did after we last spoke was run this down to my mechanics for a service, an MOT, and just a general check over. Anyway, 2 days later, my mechanic called me and said, yeah, you say it's already. It's a little minter. In fact, there was one thing they picked up on, which was a little bit worrying at first, but, well, I'll explain. They said that when it's idling, when the car's idling, there's a bit of a gearbox noise or clutch noise. So I thought, right, what's this going to cost me? Anyway, I spoke to a mate of mine who owns one of these, and he said, no, that's normal, completely normal. He actually advised me to go on some forums, which I haven't bothered doing. Life's too short, and I detest forums and the people on them. What he said though did make sense. He explained that many years ago when these cars were new, VW were getting loads of people complaining about that noise, so they were replacing the gearboxes and the clutches, you know, while they were still under warranty, but it didn't cure the problem, and that wasn't the issue. The issue here is that it's just a cheap car built to a budget, and it doesn't have the same sort of sound deadening as a Mercedes S-Class. Naturally then, you just will hear more noise. It's as simple as that. So that made me feel a little bit better. From there then I took it down to Jimmy the Magician, Jimmy the Painter. If you remember, it had a bit of, well, quite a lot actually, of blistering and rust around the fuel filler door. So he sorted that out for me, and he had to blow the paint into the rear door just to match the colour. If he'd have just done that one panel, then it might have stood out like a sore thumb. So instead, he blew it into the door, and it now looks really good. What did I do next? Oh, I picked it up from there and took it over to Tameside Detailing for a full valet. It was quite a clean car already, but there were a few stains on the seats. So a quick wet vac on the seats later, they now look as good as new. I picked it up and took it back to work this morning, took some photographs of it, and I've now got this advertised at $4,995, which I think is quite a good price really. I was never a massive fan of these cars, but it's all right. I'm not saying I want to run around in one every single day of my life, but it's not bad. It's a little budget car, to be honest. One thing that does annoy me though is the fact that you've only got one air vent here. This morning I got in this and it's quite cold this time of year, especially up north, and there's no central vent. You just get one on either side. I know they've done it to save money, but I would quite like my left side of my body to be as warm as my right. I suppose then it's that sort of time where I should pull over somewhere scenic, talk you through my costs, work out how much I've spent and how much potential profit there is. It's actually surprisingly nippy for a little 60 horsepower motor. Who'd have thought it? Someone's parked in my lay-by there. The cheek of it. Here will do then. It's as good a place as any. That noise, by the way, I'm going to try and put my microphone next to it just so you can hear something, but it does get quieter as it gets, it does get quieter as it gets warmer. I mean, you can barely hear anything now. Anyway, right, where were we? So if you remember, I paid £3,000 for the car. The bill at my mechanics for an MOT test fee, oil filter and oil and labour was £140.20. Nice cheap bill there. Let me add this up then. 3,140. Then we've got £70 for a valet. And we've got the bill at Jimmy the Magician's was repair and remove rust. It's a bit of a tongue twister that. Try this again. It's a tongue twister this. Repair and remove rust around fuel filler cap. Repaint and blend, 165, black metallic. Buff, polish, wax, full vehicle, and a general clean, £100. So my total bill there was £265. That takes my total to, I can't remember now, because I've bought many cars since I started this video, but did I set out with a £500 budget? I think I did. If I did, guess who's on budget? £3,475.20 is what this car currently owes me. It's on for £4,995, so if it sells for the asking price, I should make £1,500 profit. Pretty good that, isn't it? Right then, well, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the link below. And yeah, cheers guys. See you next time.